Thank you very much, Pastor Mark, and the entire administration of this church for giving me the opportunity to share with you the Word of God. But before we go in the Word of God, I would like to thank you for standing with us back home in Uganda. Your support has really pushed us very far. So far, there are so many things we've managed to do. I no longer get teachers drag me and shout at me that you've not paid us this month. We think you're not a man of God. Thank you for your support. That has really been a great help to our church and the entire ministry in Uganda. And you know, sometimes, how many of us are seeing me for the first time? That you are seeing me for the first time? Okay. I am married to one wife, and she's a woman. Her name is called Sylvia. We have 6 children, 2 girls and 4 boys. Girl on top, 4 boys in the middle, and then a girl down. And we also God has blessed us with another 50 children. So our family is 56. It had gone down to 53 when the big girls got married, but of recent they brought us another 3 kids. And it's a pleasure having them. We call it an opportunity to serve the children. Our church is located in the slums of Kampala, West Kampala, in Kasulu Zone 3. And by the grace of God, we've just planted 15 churches since our ministry started. And I also oversee another churches in the National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal churches, about 600 churches which we relate with. And this year, we are going to plant 2 new churches. We have some young people that are really on fire to go and plant those churches. Yeah. And one of them is Chris, and another one is Mrs. Kadu. She's a lady. She'll be pastoring that church. It's quite amazing. And we are very blessed, mainly, of what the Lord has been doing in our country to this day. When we started educating children in Kasulu Zone 3, and so far the Lord has helped us that we managed to finish the primary school, and it's looking wonderfully, and it is the best in our area. I've not seen a school that looks like it. And I took, you know, when God gives you something, He gives you wisdom. I took some of the colors, the charts they make here, and I went back home and I went to camp and that place color. I said, I need that. So I started painting my school in a different color, which is not common. So everyone is asking me, where did you get that color? And they want to copy it, but they don't have the quotations. You know, here they had the figures, they give it numbers, and they can easily check it out and make it for you. So that is what we made, and our school is very, very good. Thank you very much for your support. Today we have 309 students, pupils that we are educating in primary. And we'll take it to 600, but you know, there's something I learned from Pastor Mark that has been a guide in my life, that if you are going to eat an elephant, you have to eat it bit by bit. Otherwise, you will be frustrated. So we are now, because putting in more students means more human resource. and it will cost you more feeding and educating. So we have 309. Hopefully next year, God will help us as God gives us more resources to expand the school and to expand the numbers of children. And our children in primary level, they performed very well. We had 2 children that passed in first grade, which was very good. And then the other 10 that went in second grade. And only 1 child that went in third, fourth grade, that was Nacheme, just because she was HIV sick. You know, every time she was sick, you know, she was not capable, stable in the class, she would have performed better. And that is how so far we've gone. And we've also acquired a bigger land for the high school, bigger than the one we had last time. And God has really moved in a way we never imagined. It is approaching 1 acre, very huge, and we can build a very bigger primary school. Our goal is to go 3 stories high on every building. That's our desire. And I saw the plans out there. When we'll be having coffee, you can have a look. And you'll see maybe in the afternoon, in the evening, when you come in the evening service, you'll see a bit of that. So I once again call upon you, you know, to continue to stand with us with the little you can or the biggest you can, and we can continue, you know, to build a high school and educate more children. There is something I've got to realize, that if you want to start to change the system, you have to go in schools. If you want to change the direction of a country, you have to go in schools. And if you want to spoil a country, the wealth and the goodness of this country, you have to start in schools and impose things in the schools. Because the leaders of tomorrow are all in schools. And once you change that, you change the entire everything. There is a Russian former deputy minister that really touched me very much. In 1992, we made a public statement in America. He was calling upon American Christian teachers to come and go in Russia and start to teach. He said in Russia, about 70 years ago, when they embraced communism and they pushed our God out of their schools and their country, and he was saying that it has costed them a lot. When you push God away out of the schools, it has costed them a lot. And this man was appealing to the American Christian schools to come to Russia and help them to educate the kids, to start with the schools and, you know, and change, because change will always begin in schools. And if we are to set a generation that will fear the Lord, it's the more we need to start up Christian schools as a church. It's I'm not talking about public schools, because I've come to realize that there is no neutrality. There's nothing like neutralism in schools. It has to focus on something. Yeah, today we have schools that teach evolution, and you're very much aware of it. And our schools, when you see in the world today, and the Western world is trying to impose it on the African countries, to force us also that our schools, we may push Christianity out of our schools. And we must push the Bible out of our schools. And I think we will not allow the devil to have a foot in our country. Verbally and aggressively and prayerfully speak against this in our days as we live, so that the Bible may take its course. So that is what is really happening briefly in our country. Our school, once we finish it, will be able to accommodate 1,800 children in the high school. And you don't know how much it will bless. Because if you come to Uganda today, I have children in primary 5 which are 16 years. And don't say, hey, how can that child be? Because here, if you're 16, you are even given a license to drive. In Uganda, those children are only getting the first time opportunity to go to school. They are meeting somebody who is saying, hey, I can help you to study, I can help you to get an education. And who knows what will come out of those children tomorrow? Because when you help a child, you never know what you're doing. You never know what you're doing. You never know what will come out of that. And this world tomorrow will be shaped by the seed you plant into the lives of those children. I once again want to thank you very much for what you're doing. Continue to do it, and I call upon you, those who like to come one of these days when Pastor Mark is coming, you spend and come with him. You put aside the money you have gone for on holiday, and you put it aside and you educate a child. And that will be very wonderful. You come and your gift can do a lot to help the children in Uganda. I want to share with you very briefly in the Word of God. I read in 2 books today. I am going to read in a book maybe some of you have never read about, you've never heard of, the book of Elders. Have you ever read about that book? Elders. The book of the seniors. You know, you read about the 24 elders in the Bible. So the book of Elders is a book, the more you serve the Lord, there are some lessons you learn in life. And those lessons create a book in your head. And every time, have you ever sat with an old man or a senior and begins to talk, and what he talks really helps you a lot? Yes. Yeah, I enjoy sitting with Pastor Mark, and I hear the wealth of wisdom he always speaks with me most of the time. And I remember one of my sons at home, John, picked a car the other day, and he thought he can drive it without training. And he went into landed into somebody's leg, break it, and destroyed other things. And it was hard. They were taking us to court. And now we pleaded. And I really felt like I need to get this boy, squeeze him, beat him. And confused, I punched an email to Pastor Mark. And I think he picked something from the book of Elders. From his experience, he picked something, and he passed an email to me and said, Jonah, this is the time when that boy needs you more. I sat, and cried over that email because I really needed to smack him. So, I read a bit in the book of Elders, just for your information, out of the experience I've gained these 23 years of serving the Lord. I'll make a few quotations out of that book, and I'll also read in the Bible, the book of life. Now when I say in the book of Elders chapter 1, you know which book I'm reading from. You will not see it with your physical hands, it's just in your head. And I will encourage all the children who are here, when you sit with your parents, they have a book you've never seen. That's called the book of Elders. Sometimes they pick verses out of their experience, out of that book, and they tell you, we think when you do that, you'll be finished like this. It's very bad. Don't go that direction. We shall start in the book of Songs. Song of Solomon, chapter 2. The song, Solomon's Song, chapter 2, verse 15. You'll bear with me, I'm reading in the Old King James Version. The other day I was reading in the Old King James Version a parade for the school for the P6, P7 children, and I said, I am come that you may have life. And the children said, no, you are speaking broken English. You shouldn't say that I am come. Say I have come